The job postings are still there. They still say senior engineer. But the headcount behind them keeps shrinking, and the people who used to hold those roles aren't being promoted away from them. They're just gone. In today's video, we're going to find out what's actually happening to the senior layer of engineering, who's cutting it, why it's the first place finance looks, and what that means for the people coming up behind them. It is May 17th, 2026, and you're watching Runtime. For most of the 2010s, senior engineer meant something specific. You'd spent 5 to 8 years shipping real systems, you understood the trade-offs you couldn't Google, and you were the person a team called when the incident wasn't in the runbook. You cost more than a junior. You were worth more than a junior. The math made sense. Then the rate hikes hit, and the growth at all costs era ended, and suddenly companies that had spent 5 years overhiring had to find the fastest way to cut payroll without touching the org chart optics. Senior engineers are a perfect line item. Expensive enough to move the number, non-executive enough that nobody has to explain it to the board. And then the AI story arrived right on cue to give the CFO a narrative. Why pay a senior engineer $200,000 to write boilerplate and review PRs when a $20 a month subscription writes the boilerplate and a junior reads the diff? That's not a rhetorical question anymore. That's the actual internal memo at several companies you've heard of. What you get when this plays out is a hollowed middle. You keep a handful of staff and principal engineers at the top, the ones who own the architecture nobody fully understands and whose departure would be an immediate crisis. You hire juniors and new grads at the bottom because they're cheap and AI makes them productive faster than before. The senior layer in between gets compressed. Here's the part that doesn't show up in the earnings call. Seniors exist because juniors became them. That transition has always been bumpy and underfunded, but it existed. You wrote bad code, a senior told you it was bad, you figured out why, you got better. Compress the senior layer, and you don't just lose the people who are there now, you break the path for the people coming up. In 5 years, you won't have seniors because you stopped making them. Companies aren't announcing, we're eliminating seniors. The language is softer. Restructuring for agility, flattening the organization, investing in early career talent. I have read every one of those press releases, and I still find the ambiguity in my dreams. What they mean is, we ran the model and senior engineers are the most expensive developers who aren't yet expensive enough to protect. But here's what that story leaves out. The AI that's supposed to replace the senior's judgment is still being steered by someone. The junior using Copilot to ship 3 features a day is going to eventually push one of them into a production system they don't fully understand. And the blast radius of that incident will be determined by whether there's a senior around who built the guardrails before they left. The companies cutting seniors aren't eliminating the need for senior judgment. They're just deferring the bill. The senior engineer isn't disappearing because the work went away. The work is harder now and moving faster. They're disappearing because the market decided experience has a price ceiling and AI DMOS don't. Somewhere, a junior is shipping code into a system no one fully understands, and the senior who understood it accepted a severance package 6 months ago. This has been Runtime. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.